Good afternoon, Cross Timbers. Today's Wednesday, October 11th, 2017, and I am Rebecca Hernandez. Today's stories include a warrant that was issued for Garrett Paul Frey for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and students' reaction regarding the Las Vegas shooting. These stories plus more coming up on Texan TV. In campus news, with the recent events that unfolded last week's Las Vegas shooting, students in a broadcast journalism class interviewed students around campus for their initial reaction regarding the shooting.
I was actually really scared because I have family in Vegas. So I immediately called them, made sure that they were okay, and then I was just like really sad, emotional.
Well, I would say it was more shocking than anything because it's Las Vegas. There's a lot of people there, and a lot of people did die.
My first reaction was, why does this keep happening to our country? Why is there so much devastation in such a short period of time?
I would say I was really sad about it, that there's still evil going on in the world, and knowing the fact that it was like a venue that was populated with a lot of people just trying to enjoy the moment. I know on the news there were a couple there trying to celebrate their anniversary. Some people were just risking their lives for each other. I would say overall just really sad.
My first reaction was it was just deep sadness to think so many people's lives were lost and how everybody was affected, and there's just been so many bad things happening right now in the world.
I do. I favor more control. He obviously did not need to have those guns, so I feel like if there is more control, there'd be less incidents like this. I mean, that's not the major problem, but it can definitely help it.
Well, I grew up in North Carolina, pretty conservative part of North Carolina, so I'm not saying they pressed it upon me, but I don't think that there should be more gun control. It's one of our rights.
I feel that there should be some type of test, a psychological test for people that can own guns, so this can stop happening, so they can catch it early on from people that should not be allowed to have guns.
I was searching, and I know that certain states, of course, require a permit. There's some states that don't require a permit at all if you're wanting to carry a concealed weapon, and there was some that overall they do not want anybody at all to carry one. So I know that it varies. So far I think it's good, but I think if anybody, if they really are shocked about the situation, maybe those states that don't require a permit should start to realize to require a permit just in case.
I feel there maybe should be more control in a sense that get background checks and stuff like that, but more all I kind of believe that guns don't kill people, people kill people, and yes, there's gonna be a lot of bad people in the world, but there's a lot more good people in the world, so we can't just judge on the sense of few bad things happening.
Gosh, it's insane how much stuff is happening right now, and I feel like a lot of people are arguing and getting really aggressive over something that should bring people together. So that's kind of sad, but then you see different aspects of it where people are actually coming together and being positive about something. It's so horrible.
It has, and even the news coverage of everything, you see random people just helping each other out, trying to save each other's life and stuff like that. And to me, honestly, it's kind of sad that something like that has to occur for us to more come together, but it's good that it still happens.
I think that our country will hopefully become united in this type of devastation, in this type of tragedy, and I hope basically for the best, everybody to recover and actually to get some type of closure and figuring out why.
I know, like, bad stuff happens all the time, and we can't really do it, but I think in the midst of, like, I noticed seeing like the summertime, there was like a tension between certain groups of people, and I know even though it was like a horrible thing, it makes us all realize to come together. We're all humans, we all sympathize, we all care for each other, and just do the best that we can. Even to, like, in the midst of what happened with the hurricanes, we're all giving back and realizing, like, okay, we need to care for the humans and everybody else that lives on this planet with us.
I mean, in a sense, like, I feel like people are maybe more scared to go out and do things with, like, big groups and stuff because, like, I mean, they're obviously being more targeted. But I think as a whole, like, we need to just stand together and, like, work through these issues and, like, stay as a whole country.
Honestly, I could not tell you.
Right. I mean, it's kind of hard to predict things like that from happening.
Yeah, plus I'm not in, like, that area of expertise. I don't know anything about preventing that kind of stuff.
In local news, a warrant has been issued for 41-year-old Garrett Paul Frey for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Around 6 p.m. yesterday evening, residents of Stephenville got word from the Stephenville Police Department of an apparent active shooter in the area, where they were advised to stay indoors and avoid the area on FM 914 and Country Road 454. The suspect, Frey, was believed to be on foot and armed. He is described as a white male with brown hair and brown eyes who has last been seen wearing a blue jeans and a blue denim shirt. Tarleton also issued a code purple saying that the incident is miles from campus and is being handled. About an hour, investigators confirmed the SPD posted another update saying it was no longer an active shooter situation. No injuries have been reported, but the suspect is still at large. Sheriff Matt Coates also released a statement today saying at no time this was an active shooter situation. He says that there was a lot of information coming into the Stephenville and Erath County dispatch, and there was a miscommunication about what actually was going on at the scene. Last night, officers called off the search around 11 p.m. and are asking if anyone has any information on the location of Frey to the Erath County Sheriff's Office. Quinicia Frazier is on the scene at the suspect's house with more information on the story.
Thanks, Rebecca. Behind me is where the manhunt for Garrett Paul Frey all started. Authorities got a call about a man pointing a gun at a woman. The Erath County Sheriff's Office said that when they got in contact with the subject, he fled on foot, and that's when the search for this man all began. Just a few minutes ago, we were down at the site where the manhunt supposedly started. We did see some officers putting on bulletproof vests. The officer that spoke to us told us that it would be best for our safety if we travel back down here in case shooting starts happening. It looks like they're about to go on the property where it happened. We don't know if the suspect is there. We don't know if he's somewhere else at this moment, but when we do get more information, we will update you. Quinicia Frazier, Texan TV.
Right now, our executive producer, Danny Hernandez, just got off the phone with Bree Lilly, who lives by the suspect's house, and says County Road 454 has been shut down. She spoke with an officer at the scene, and he told her that they think the suspect is in the house. Erath County and Stephenville police have set up and high-powered rifles pointed towards the house. We will have more with this as we have this information unfold. Now today's Texas national and international news from the Associated Press. In Texas news on Tuesday, the Supreme Court refused to consider an appeal from a suburban Houston man on death row. 37-year-old Thomas Bart Whitaker arranged the killings of his mother and brother in 2003 so he could collect a $1 million inheritance. According to the court records, Whitaker offered to take responsibility for the killings and accept a life sentence, but his attorney said prosecutors rejected it because it contained no expression of remorse. The justices provide no explanation for the refusal. A jury decided that he could be put to death, and evidence showed Whitaker orchestrated the plot, and it was at least his third attempt to kill his family. As part of the scheme with two friends, Whitaker was shot in the arm to draw attention away from him. Whitaker does not yet have an execution date. In national news, President Donald Trump is on his way across the country proposing a new tax plan. His next stop is to rally in Harrisburg, Mississippi to speak with truckers. According to the AP, Trump's plan indicates dramatically cutting corporate tax rates from 35% to 20% to reduce the number of personal income tax brackets and boost the standard deduction. When your trucks are moving, Donald Trump said, America's growing, and that is why my administration is taking historical steps to remove the barriers that slow you down. In international news, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy demanded Wednesday that the leader of Catalonia clarify whether he has declared the region's independence, issuing a veiled threat that the central government could not limit or rescind Catalan autonomy if he was. Rajoy said that Catalan President Carles Puigdemont's response would be crucial in demanding events over the coming days. The Prime Minister's remarks marked the first time and Rajoy has openly said that invoking a section of the Spanish Constitution allows the government to assert control over the regions would be the next step. If Catalan authorities don't backtrack, the central government wants to offer certainty to citizens and that it is necessary to return tranquility and calm. He said following a special cabinet meeting, Rajoy issued the demand in response to Puigdemont's announcement that he was proceeding with a declaration of independence, but suspending the move from taking effect for several weeks to facilitate negotiation. Opposition socialist leader Pedro Sanchez said Spain's two main political parties have agreed to renegotiate laws governing autonomy amid Catalonia's independence bid. In sports, the Associated Press reports that the U.S. national soccer team has officially missed out on qualifying for the World Cup for a 2-1 loss against Trinidad and Tobago. This will break the United States' streak of going 7 straight World Cups after having 3 wins and 3 losses and 4 ties in the qualifying round. It was enough to qualify for the tournament. Veterans like Clint Dempsey and Tim Howard will never get a chance to showcase their talents on the soccer's biggest stage. Howard expressed his thoughts on the situation by saying, "If I said disappointed, it'd be an understatement." The weather today comes from weather.com. For today's weather, you can expect a partly cloudy with a high near 75 degrees with winds blowing in from the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, you can expect mainly clear skies with a low of 57 degrees and a light and variable winds. This has been a production of the Texan TV News, a product of the Texan News Service from the Tarleton State University campus in Stephenville, Texas. Watch us live on Apogee 2.1 in the dorms and 12:30 weekdays if you live off campus. Tune in on Northland Cable Channel 9, and you can follow the Texan News Service on Facebook and Twitter, and check out our website at www.texannews.net for all your latest local, state, national, international news. Today's broadcast was produced by Latricia Powell, Danny Hernandez, Katie McQuillan, Channing Flatt, Ashley Inge, and Quinicia Frazier. Have a wonderful day, Texans.